Hey, what is happening, guys? What's going on YouTube? And thank you guys for tuning into Rules for Rebels. The topic of today's video is why Shopify may not be the right business for you. And we're talking about general Shopify stores as well as Shopify using the dropshipping fulfillment. And a reason I wanted to touch on this, I know there's a lot of people out there who say, oh, dropshipping's so amazing because you don't need any money to get started. Well, that is true. Dropshipping can be done cheaper than having to order and carry inventory. You can't start a dropshipping business with $10. You are going to need a little bit of money to get started. I had seen a post on the Reddit Shopify subreddit, and a college kid was looking to start a Shopify store, was looking for some advice and some suggestions. And, me and him had chatted a little bit through private message and email as well. And I personally don't think Shopify is a great fit for him. And I imagine there's probably some of you guys out there who are in a similar situation. I realize a lot of these people on YouTube and blogs and whatever else say, start a dropshipping store with no money and make $50,000, your first month, this, that, and the other. And I really just want to hammer home the point about start a business that fits your situation. Like I mentioned in the side hustle episode that you guys watched yesterday. I'm actually posting this video before I actually post the Side Hustle Tuesday episode, but you guys will be watching this one a day after. I kind of started off the episode by mentioning, part of the reason that I make this side hustle series is because I want you guys to be exposed to all these different ideas. I want you guys to see all these kind of outside the box ways that people are making money, because something I see happening in the entrepreneurship circles online, on Reddit, on YouTube, whatever other social media platform is, there's a bunch of people making videos out there about Shopify or drop shipping or whatever else, and I see everybody flocking to this handful of businesses. And I think what's even more important than just doing what everyone else is doing or doing what someone else says they're having success with doing is doing something that kind of fits you. So, if I worked from 8 in the morning to 5 at night and I took night classes from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock at night, I probably wouldn't be trying to start a landscaping business, right? Because, lawns need to be mowed during the day and people don't want me mowing their lawn in the dark at 11 o'clock at night when I get out. Their kids are trying to sleep. So that business wouldn't be right for me. Another scenario would be like if you have a background in graphic design, if you're a strong graphic designer, maybe instead of starting a Shopify store, maybe you start doing freelancing on Fiverr or Upwork and selling graphic design services to people. That's something you already have a skill set based around. That's something you already know how to do. There's no learning curve. You can hit the ground running and start making money day one. Whereas with a Shopify store, your graphic design skills will come in handy. Yeah, you'll have a pretty sharp looking store, but you're having to learn everything about product sourcing and e-commerce and customer service. So, do something that fits the amount of money you have. Do something that fits your skill sets. Do something that fits your interest. If you have no interest in e-commerce and you jump into Shopify just because, some YouTuber says Shopify is so great, you're probably not going to be happy doing it and you're probably not going to have a lot of success. So here's the guy's situation, basically. He said, need your help, guys. I'm starting my first Shopify store to get out of my difficult situation. So right off the bat, starting a business to dig yourself out of a hole is one of the worst situations to put yourself in for starting a business. You're desperate. You're going to make short-sighted decisions. And it's just one of those things that when you need money, it doesn't come, right? It's when you, I don't want to say it's when you don't need the money, but when I have to make this money in the next week and the next month, that's when things almost never work out. So he says, I'm currently broke AF, so he's broke as fuck, and a student. It's really difficult to focus only on studying without thinking about the income for each month. So I decided to launch a Shopify dropshipping store with Shopify. I'm not expecting a miracle. I want only $500 to $800 a month income. I want only a small income to pay part of my rent and food. Do you guys think it's possible? If I put some effort in the beginning, I have some questions. It would be very helpful to me if some experienced dropshippers would answer my questions. So first off, props to him for not wanting to make $50,000 his first month. Again, a lot of these videos and stuff say that you can. But again, $500 to $800 a month, it takes time to build up to $500 to $800 per month. When me and my business partner started our business back in 2012, at that point, it was pretty much strictly an eBay business. But we spent, it took a while to build up, and then we spent months making, $50 a week, $50 a month. I think at first it was $50 a month, then it was $50 a week. So, at the time I was broke as well. Like, the money was very helpful, but, it was just beer money at the time. It did take a while to build up, and I think we were probably like, a year in before we were making a couple $1,000s a month. And, even then, most of it got rolled back into the business. Only half of it was mine. I had to split it with him, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, believe it or not, despite all these people on YouTube saying how much money they're making, I would imagine that, if we took 100 drop shippers and checked on them 6 months later and said, who's making $500 to $800 a month, I would bet you less than 10% of them are still around making $500 to $800 a month. I would bet you less than 10% of them are around, period. I'm a Shopify affiliate, so I see the signups in the different stores that come through on my dashboard. And, for every 50 stores get started, a month later, maybe 20 of them are around. 60 days later, maybe 10 of them are around. 6 months later, I could probably count on one hand the number of stores that are still around. So even though it seems like everybody is getting rich off Shopify, and even though $500 to $800 a month doesn't seem like it's asking too much, $500 to $800 per month probably puts you in the top 20 percentile of new Shopify sellers. So let's get into his questions. He says, number one, can I launch my Shopify website and start selling within the free trial period? Absolutely. For most stores, you can be up and running within an hour. A while back, I made a video called the Shopify 3-Day Challenge. I'll link to it below. It's been so long since I made it, I kind of forgot what it was even about. But it was basically about the idea of launching and getting a store up and running within the trial period, and hopefully maybe trying to land your first sale before you're even out of the trial. Now, I wouldn't go into a Shopify business with no money, I need to make some money to pay my first month Shopify fees. I think that's a bad way to enter it. But can you start selling within the trial period? Absolutely. I could go set up a store within probably an hour or two. Setting up Shopify payments is normally one click. If you already have a PayPal account, you connect your PayPal account to it instantly, not even an approval process. With Shopify payments, which is actually Stripe, most people will be set up within a matter of clicks or matter of minutes and able to start selling right away. If you have bad credit, or if you sell high-risk products, or if you've had some failed Shopify stores in the past, you may go under an additional review and it may take a couple days to get selling. But yeah, absolutely. You should have I shouldn't say you should, but you potentially could have a Shopify store up and running and taking orders within a matter of hours. Number two, for now, I can only afford a domain name. I cannot pay a Shopify subscription. Is it possible with $0 in ads to start selling $150 to $100 so I can pay the subscription with that money? So, a lot of times I see Shopify stores, and rather than mydressboutique.com, it'll be mydressboutique.shopify.com. And I always wondered, why would somebody do that and not spring for a domain? And I imagine it's people in this guy's situation who don't have a lot of money, want to try out some different concepts. And, if they have 3 failed stores, they don't want to pay for 3 domains. Even though domains are fairly cheap, GoDaddy's normally got 99-cent promos, etc. I get it. I get bootstrapping. So I get it. So, he essentially only has, I'm guessing, $10 or $12 to pay for a domain. He has no money to run ads, which running ads isn't a necessity. You guys know I'm a huge fan of content marketing. But running ads is one way to kind of spring start your store to get sales coming in a little bit quicker. When you're starting off with no ad money and it's strictly all off social media and content marketing, maybe you'll luck out and post something on Instagram and Pinterest and somebody likes it and buys it. But more often than not, it's probably going to take you a couple weeks, maybe even a couple of months to start building up a name and building up an amount of content that can actually drive traffic to your store that is actually going to convert in a sale. I suppose at the end of the day, worst case scenario, he buys a domain, the Shopify store never sells anything, he can't pay his first monthly fee of $29 and the store gets shut down or goes into hibernation. I guess all he's out is $12. I suppose that's not a huge risk there. But I think you're setting yourself up for failure when you're going into this business without a penny and you're like, I have to make $29 to be able to pay for my first month of a Shopify subscription. And we'll get into why having no money is an even bigger problem down the road here. So, Number 3, is there any possible way to promote our store without a budget, like collaboration with Instagram influencers, etc.? Absolutely. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of content marketing. Depending on what you're selling will depend on what platforms you're going to be marketing on, what type of content you're going to be making. But YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, blogs, etc., all very effective ways of driving traffic and driving sales. In terms of Instagram influencers want to get paid. Nobody is going to promote your store out of the goodness of their heart. I see a lot of people who are like, oh, well, what if I offer an Instagram influencer 20% of my sales? Like, I don't know what you're selling, but basically a no-name store starting up by a new Shopify seller. If I'm an Instagram influencer, there's plenty of people who are going to pay me $50 for a shout out, $100 for a product spot, etc. I'm probably not going to want to take a risk on some guy with no e-commerce experience that I'm only going to get paid if he succeeds in his drop shipping. So it's just not something that most influencers are going to be interested in getting involved with. So I would scratch the whole influencer thing. Once you make some money, okay, now you can pay some influencers. I think that's an undervalued form of advertising. I think that could do very well for you. But right off the bat, with no money, you're not going to be able to get Instagram influencers. Number 4, can I use the money that I receive on PayPal, or even if the customer did not receive his order? The customer did not receive his order. So I think what he's asking here, and I guess we followed up and talked a little bit, so I know what he's asking here. He's basically saying, okay, I'm going to put a parachute hammock on Shopify for $20. It costs $10 on AliExpress. When a customer pays me $20, can I take $10 of that, order his product? So basically, once he buys this domain, he doesn't have a penny. So he's counting on using the customer's money to buy the product. Now, this is where I think this whole business plan falls apart. Is first off, with PayPal, if it's a new account, they potentially could hold your money for 21 days, assuming that you have an established account and they're going to give the money to you right away. Okay, so the customer pays you via PayPal. AliExpress doesn't accept PayPal, so you're going to have to get that money to your bank account. How are you going to do that? Well, first off, the customer pays, the money hits your PayPal account, you do a transfer out to your bank account. It used to be 2 to 3 days. I think they may be doing it in 24 hours now. But again, depending on the batch out times, that's going to add, say, maybe a day or two to your shipping time. Now, with drop shipping, we already know shipping times are incredibly long. Do you really, I know it's only a day or two, but do you really want to add more time onto an already long shipping time? Probably not. If you're using Shopify payments, sometimes Shopify, I guess depending on what merchant account you have, I don't personally use Shopify payments. For one of my businesses, they won't allow me to, and for my other businesses, I can get better rates through other providers. I pay, maybe not half, but just over half of what Shopify charges. So I'm getting my merchant processing much cheaper. I believe with my business, if a transaction comes through before 5 o'clock and everything gets batched out, I have the money in my bank account the next day. With Shopify payments, you may be waiting 2 or 3 days. I would count on 24 to 48 hours. So again, you're adding time. But again, if PayPal holds your money, puts a rolling reserve on you, all of a sudden now a customer has paid you and you can't order the product for them. And this is assuming that everything goes super smooth. So you have no PayPal holds, PayPal or Stripe gives you your money right away. But guess what? Lost packages happen, right? Also, some customers are going to do credit card chargebacks. So, maybe this guy sells this parachute hammock, 3 weeks go by, the customer still doesn't have it. He provides some obscure China Post or e-packet tracking number. The customer's like, what the hell is this? It's been 3 weeks. This tracking number shows this item isn't even in the USA, or it's not even showing any tracking. Like, what's going on here? I want my money back. Well, I'm sorry, I can't give you your money back. Customer's going to call up Capital One. I ordered a parachute hammock online. It's been 3 weeks. I haven't gotten it. The guy doesn't have a tracking number. Okay, sir, here's your money back. We'll do a chargeback for you. Well, now you can't turn around AliExpress packages, so that package is still going to make it to the customer. The customer is still going to get his parachute hammock. Capital One's going to take that money right up out of your PayPal account or your Stripe account or whatever else, and now you're in a hole. And, I know that's kind of a worst case scenario, but being that you're new to drop shipping, being that you're new to e-commerce, that you're new to Shopify, I don't think it's really realistic to expect that everything is going to go swimmingly. Even for experienced people, shit happens. And this is how people wind up getting in a hole and wind up getting suspended from PayPal or Stripe for life. Because what would happen is PayPal's going to try to take the money back from the seller. If the seller doesn't have the money, PayPal is going to reimburse the customer themselves. This guy's PayPal account goes in default. He winds up getting banned from PayPal. And, 6 months down the road, a year down the road, when he actually does have some money and is actually in a position to actually start a drop shipping store, a Shopify store, he's not going to be able to get payment processing because he burned Shopify or he burned Stripe. And potentially they even blacklist him, and now he's a high risk processor, and it's either impossible for him to get credit card processing, or he's like me, paying 7% for credit card processing when even like industry standard on the high end is like 2.9%. So just really, really bad idea. And then lastly, he says with number 5, is it still worth drop shipping with AliExpress, or do you guys have an alternative? There's all types of alternatives. I mean, you got DHgate, iOffer, ChinaGate. There's a bunch of sites like AliExpress. I mean, they're all going to have similar prices. They're all going to have the same type of items. They're all going to be shipping China Post or e-packet, so the shipping times are going to be about the same. Product quality is still going to be somewhat spotty. There is a site that you might want to check out. It's called thomas.net. It's more for manufacturers. Like you can find sunglasses and things on there, but more often than not, it's people selling like raw materials. But definitely encourage you guys to check it out. I believe it's thomasnet.com. It's pretty much either most, if not all, USA suppliers. And there's some good deals on there. There's some good suppliers on there. There's a lot of like novelty items, sunglasses, apparel and clothing's easy to get, but they also sell a lot of raw materials. So like if I'm searching for yoga mat, I may find somebody who sells like 100-foot long rolls of the stuff yoga mats are made out of, but maybe not necessarily a yoga mat itself. Sorry guys, got interrupted there. Got some chicken on the grill, so I had to go take care of that. Lost my train of thought here for a second. But yeah, check out thomas.net. You'll also, one strategy that I really recommend, and I've mentioned this in a lot of videos, I actually have been meaning to make a dedicated video giving you guys kind of an email template to send out to suppliers and things like that. But try to find people to drop ship for you in the USA. So what I might do is go find a company who makes a unique product, or a product that I like or think is cool or appeals to a niche. I would contact them. I would say, look, I have a large following in, XYZ niche. I'm looking to start an online store. Would you be open to drop shipping orders for me? And don't just say that, because that kind of puts the burden on them to try to figure out like the details. Like, well, how much would you want to be paid? What would we sell these products to you? How do we ship these orders out for you? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Approach them with a plan. So, okay, I have a business in XYZ niche. I think I'd be able to move a lot of your products. Here's what I'm thinking. You give me a 20% discount on the products. At the end of each day, I'll provide you an Excel sheet with my customer's name, address, phone number, and email. Please process an order, ship it out to them. As far as payment, I'd be willing to give you $200 up front. You can deduct from that, and I'll replenish that. Or if you're comfortable with it, you can bill me at the end of every week, and I'll pay you at the end of every week. If you want, I'll put a credit card on file with you. So approach them with a plan, have all the angles figured out so it's not a burden on them, so they're not having to do any work. So from their end, it's like, okay, this guy's going to drive sales to us. He's got everything figured out. All we have to do is ship his orders. He's going to move all this inventory. We're giving up 20% of the profit, but we're going to get all this business that we wouldn't otherwise get. Why that's effective and successful? Well, A, you have a unique product. You're not one of the 100 people selling the same 10 products from AliExpress drop shipping them. So you have a unique product. You actually have a relationship with your supplier. And, so if I'm drop shipping stuff from AliExpress, if a package goes missing, if I have a question, if it gets misdelivered, okay, I'll send them a message through AliExpress, maybe 12 hours from now when it's daytime in China. Maybe somebody responds back to me. Maybe somebody doesn't. Maybe it's the same person I placed the order with. Maybe it isn't. Just I have no relationship with them. I'm probably not going to get a lot of help from them. But in the other situation, I have a relationship with this dropshipper, this company who's drop shipping for me. So when a package goes missing, Bill's my contact over at, XYZ company. Hey, Bill, I got this package. Tracking hasn't updated. Do you know what's going on? Okay, I'll put a trace on it at the post office. Tell your customer we'll get back to him in a day. Also, the shipping times are going to be much quicker because this is going to be a domestic company, either in the USA, or if you're in Canada, a company in Canada, but a company that's domestic to you, so that when orders are shipping out, you're looking at a 2, 3, 4, 5, definitely under a week-long shipping time, as opposed to AliExpress drop shipping, where you're looking at probably best case scenario 14 to 18 days, potentially up to what, 30, 45, even 60 days. So you're going to have a unique product. There's not going to be a million people selling the same thing. You have a relationship with your supplier, faster shipping times. That's actually a recipe for success with a drop shipping business or a Shopify business, not AliExpress drop shipping. But yeah, I mean, for all these reasons, I just don't think it's a great time for this gentleman, due to his situation, for starting a drop shipping store. What I suggested he do: hop on Craigslist, look in the free section, find something that you can go pick up for free, put up a Craigslist ad or an offer up ad, try to resell that item for $20 and get a hustle going up that way. Look on Craigslist in the gig section. There might be someone needing their lawn mowed, needing a spring cleanup on their yard, needing the garage organized. Do something like that. Make $50. Set up a profile on Fiverr. Start doing some kind of freelancing, selling gigs. Do some affiliate marketing. That will help you build up a lot of the writing skills, a lot of the copywriting skills, a lot of the social media and marketing skills that you're going to need to run your own store. So let's say this guy wanted to sell camping stuff. Well, why not start doing affiliate marketing in the camping niche, build up a blog, build up some social media profiles, make some money that way, actually have a bankroll to properly start this Shopify store, this dropshipping store, and all that effort you put in on the affiliate marketing, it's not wasted because, let's say maybe you built up a blog, Jim's, camping blog or whatever, and you were recommending other people's products through affiliate marketing. Well, now you have your own store, you're selling your own supplies. Instead of linking to other people's products, you link to your own products and you're making more money off each sale. So, I think, could it be done? Well, sure, I guess he could press forward and do this. He's got enough for the domain and, he can get a free 14-day Shopify trial. If you search around, there are some 30-day trials for Shopify. And I don't know if this works anymore, but there used to be kind of a Shopify hack where if you requested like an actual physical terminal, they would extend your trial to, I think it was either 60 or 90 days. You could cancel the terminal after a week, send it back to them. You're not charged for it, and you wind up getting a 60 or 90-day trial instead of a 14-day trial. I think I heard that kind of Shopify hack isn't working any longer. But either way, I just don't think this situation is set up for success. I'd get some other hustle going, make some money, and then kind of come back to this when you have a bankroll. And again, I'm not saying you need thousands of dollars. It's not as if you're trying to roll out an Amazon FBA product. You don't need $2,500 to get this started. But I do think it would help to have at least 10 products. I used to have kind of a rule of thumb that I recommended. I think it was whatever you plan on selling on Shopify via drop shipping, make sure you have enough to buy 10 units. So, if you're going to be selling a $10 item on Shopify, make sure you got, I forget what I said, 10 or 15 units. Make sure you got at least 100, 150 bucks. I don't think it's asking too much that you have a little bit of money to, for a rainy day, if a package gets lost, if somebody does a chargeback. But like going into this with no more money than enough money to build a domain is really going to be an uphill battle. Most businesses that do start having success right away, they have the luxury of paying for advertising or paying for influencers. But when everything's going to be based off content marketing and social media, it's probably going to take a few weeks to get this going off the ground. So I think the best course of action, whatever niche you wanted to start your Shopify store in, go start a free Google Blogger blog, start doing affiliate marketing. That's a long-term game as well, so I would suggest getting some other hustles going as well. But build up that blog, start developing some of the skills that you need for marketing and copywriting and advertising and everything else for social media. And all that will help you with your Shopify store later on down the road. So hope this video helped you out C#. If any of you guys who are watching this are in a similar situation or thinking about doing something similar, hopefully this video helps you guys out as well. I wanted to thank everybody for watching and tuning in. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button so other people can find it as well. And I'd love to hear your guys' experiences, your guys' stories, as well as your guys' advice for C#. Drop them in the comment section below, and I will catch you guys on the next video.